The auto show is back after a 16-month hiatus and with a new name. It's no longer called an international show, just the Detroit Auto Show. And that's not the only change to this event. Joining us now with the story is CTV's Michelle Molesky from Detroit tonight. Michelle.
Well, Stephanie, when I first started covering the auto show about 25 years ago, media preview days were over 3, 4, sometimes 5 days with dozens of news conferences and new vehicle unveilings. This year, not a single one. No new vehicle unveilings, no press conferences, and media preview is just 4 hours. So what gives? Industry insiders say it's not so much about the health of this industry, but rather about how this industry markets itself.
It boggles my mind completely.
Elisa Priddle has covered the auto show in Detroit since the late 80s. The scaled-down version is a far cry from those days.
This has been coming for a long time. Automakers have realized that it's expensive to do press conferences at auto shows, and I guess they see there's not a lot of payback, return on their investment that way.
Case in point, circa 2008.
The coil spring set is 40.
This is how Chrysler unveiled its 2009 Dodge Ram pickup truck. Chrysler shipped in dozens of Longhorn steers from Oklahoma to dazzle and maybe startle the media into attention.
Trucks are synonymous with cowboys. Trucks are today's horses.
In 2025, this is how the Dodge Ram is on display in Detroit.
Exhibits that you're going to see here, they're not put on by the automaker per se, they're put on by the dealers because it's in the dealer's best interest to show their wear.
I've been going to auto shows for 30 years.
But this year, analyst Sam Fiorani is sitting the show out. With the introduction and surge in social media, Fiorani says automakers no longer rely on traditional media to get their message out.
You could tell how the industry was doing by how they treated the media. An early show I went to, they had champagne and beer at the Mercedes stand, and the following year we had bottled water.
It's not so much about the media, but it is about our industry.
Detroit Auto Show Chairman Carl Zimmerman says they dropped the North American title this year on purpose to go back to their roots.
In 1907, the Detroit Auto Dealers Association was formed for the express purpose of having an auto show where we could educate and inspire folks that might want to buy a vehicle, get them educated about the new products.
This year's show is one giant car dealership without the pressure.
It's about getting the buying public familiar with the product, getting them excited about it, getting them educated, and giving us an opportunity ultimately to sell, because if we don't sell, the factories don't run. Zimmerman
also tells me coming back to January also an intentional decision. He says there were just way too many other events going on in September, not to mention back to school, that they were all fighting for consumer attention. Bringing this back in the winter with more indoor consumer experiences, they believe is going to be more successful as there isn't as much to do at this time of year. He tells me already ticket sales for the show are outpacing expectation. Now coming up and happening now, Melanie Kentner will have more details about all the fun and exciting and different things you can do right here on the show floor. The show opens Saturday and runs until the 20th. You'll have to stay tuned for those details. But right now, I'm going to send things back to you. Steph?
Looking forward to it. Okay, Michelle Molesky at the Detroit Auto Show tonight. Thank you so much, Michelle.